May I take a picture of your shoe?
Why do you want to do that?
To exclude you as a suspect, Mr. Kunchai.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna need your fingerprint.
But I didn't do anything.
Your fingerprints will help prove that.
All right.
Let's get this to the lab and find out what kind of plant it is. Well, from the smell of it, I bet I can guess what that is. And if it's some sort of specialty fertilizer, then maybe we can connect it back to a specific manufacturer or distributor. Check this out. So I was doing a little background on this ash metal gum plant, and I found these articles related to the building of the La Ventura Casino. It seems that an environmental group called Primeval won a temporary injunction against Silver Sierra's construction of La Ventura. It was seeking a supplemental environmental impact report on the ash meadows habitat, which Primeval claimed was being threatened at the building site. But it looks like an appeals court overturned the injunction. This is a high-grade synthetic fertilizer. It's rare enough that Brass should be able to contact the manufacturer and get a record of the people to whom they sell and ship their product. We should swing by his office.
We need a list of buyers of RXU 1127 in Las Vegas area.
I'm on it. Obrera's lawyers were very cooperative. Unfortunately for us, there was only one buyer who purchased the fertilizer in our area. About 6 months ago, a nursery called Green Growth Plants. Turns out that nursery is owned by a man by the name of Todd Stewart.
Todd Stewart?
We can't prove it yet, but we suspect he's connected to a group called Primeval. We think he's a terrorist, an eco-terrorist.
Todd Stewart? We'd like to ask you a few questions.
I'm a little confused. Am I in some kind of trouble here?
Your name came up during the course of a homicide investigation.
Homicide? Who got killed?
Construction foreman over at the La Ventura site. His name is Mark Ensign.
Do you know Mark Ensign?
No, I don't.
Do you know a man by the name of Zachary Lynch?
No, sir, I don't.
Do you know anyone who worked at La Ventura site?
Not that I know of. No, I'm sorry.
Anyone ever hire you to work on the construction site of the new Havana Hotel and Casino?
You know,
Build a garden? Maybe water some plants?
No, no one ever has. And I would never accept a job like that, even if it were offered to me.
Why wouldn't you work at a place like?
Their money no good for you?
Do we really need another casino in Las Vegas? Really? For that matter, do we really need another gated housing community or a freeway? When is this going to stop? Not to get on my soapbox here, but I do consider myself to be a very active environmentalist, and I can't stand to bear witness to what we are doing to literally exterminate our planet. She truly is our Mother Earth, and we owe it to her to do whatever we can to keep her safe.
Are you familiar with an environmental group called Primeval?
Yes, I am familiar with them, and I already know what your next question is going to be.
Are you a member of Primeval, Mr. Stewart?
No, I am not a member, but I will be honest with you. I believe in their cause. I do. This runaway train of so-called progress must be derailed somehow, otherwise this beautiful planet will die. And if protecting our planet sometimes means resorting to guerrilla gardening, so be it. It falls right in line with the traditional practice of civil disobedience.
Well, you may not be a member, but it kind of sounds like you might have pledged a few dollars over the years.
I often wish I had. And I bet you wish I had. Because that would mean you could arrest me right now for helping to finance a terrorist group. But the sad truth is, I don't have the courage of my convictions. I'm just a gardener.
May we take an impression of your shoe?
Of my shoe? Why?
Is there a problem, Mr. Stewart?
I got a problem with you playing fast and loose with my rights. But you know what? Let's just get this whole thing over with. Take my whole damn shoe if you like.
Thanks for showing us the bottom of your shoe, Todd.
May we have a sample of your DNA?
You gotta be kidding, right?
We don't even need to draw your blood. Just a swab to the mouth will do. Totally painless.
But why?
We'd like to be able to exclude you as a potential suspect.
You guys really are a piece of work. Whatever, take it.
You purchased the fertilizer RXU1127?
You know I did. That's why I'm here, isn't it?
Anyone else have access to it?
Yes, I have several people who work for me.
Have you ever set foot on the Laventura property?
Haven't we been over this? No, I've never been to the Laventura site.
We ain't got the evidence for that.
The shoe print we found at the crime scene is a match to Todd Stewart's shoe impression.
Have you ever set foot on the property?
Haven't we been over this? No, I've never been to the Laventura site.
He lied.
That's your shoe print at La Ventura, in the middle of the native garden, right where we found the body of Mark Ensign.
I didn't kill anybody.
Todd, it's time to come clean. Mark Ensign caught you vandalizing the property. He caught you in the act, didn't he? You struggled, and you killed him.
All I did was plant the garden. My mission was to restore the ash metal to its rightful place. It had been smothered by the monstrosity of that building, and I put it right back where it belongs. And that's all I did, I swear. I have no idea what happened to Mark. He was alive when I left him.
Well, now it sounds like you knew the victim.
Did you know Mark Ensign?
It wasn't like we were friends or anything. I approached him, introduced myself, and appealed to his sense of justice for the planet. I asked him if he fully understood the havoc the building of Laventura was wreaking on the native environment of the Las Vegas Valley, the genocide of the ash meadow. That was over 6 months ago, and he totally blew me off. But then last week, he actually called me.
He invited you to tear up his lobby?
See, you're trying to perpetuate the big lie. It wasn't his lobby. He was an employee. It had nothing to do with him. He was just a cog in the machine. The machine that is this whole consumer capitalist corporate complex. And somehow, Mark finally got it. It was like he found God. Total conversion.
Really? Next, you'll be telling us Mark started writing checks out to Primeval.
Look, this operation had nothing to do with Primeval. It was my own initiative. And Mark turned out to be my greatest ally.
So when was the last time you saw Mark alive?
I finished setting the garden around 9 p.m. But before I left, another construction worker had shown up. I think he was the plumbing foreman. They started discussing the Bureau of Sanitation halted construction. And then they started to argue. Kept hearing them mention this guy named Lynch like he was their boss or something. But they were really fighting over some money, some cash left in a safe. Apparently it was a lot of cash, and the plumbing guy thought he was entitled to it. And I guess Mark didn't think so.
Was this plumbing guy's name Marcus Kunchai?
Mark kept yelling Marcus this, Marcus that, but I didn't catch the guy's last name.
Where is the safe?
From their argument, it sounded like he was right up there in their office, under a rug.
Mr. Kunchai, we'd like to ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind. Maybe take a quick look around your office.
I do mind, actually. Do you have a search warrant?
Well, we can get one if we need to.
How could you get one? I haven't done anything wrong. You can't just barge in here on a scavenger hunt. I know my rights.
Look, we can do this one of two ways, Mr. Kunchai.
Please, spare me. I say we go for the hardest, most pain-in-the-ass, constitutional way for you guys. Okay? How about that? You come back with a warrant, or you don't come back at all.
Just like Captain Jack searching for the buried treasure. That's interesting. I don't think this fiber is from the rug. Well, whatever cash was here is gone now. Looks like it could have been a lot. I wonder whose laptop this is. fiber is from an industrial use glove. What do you think? Maybe the kind of glove used by a plumber? There are two interesting files here. Looks to me like a ledger of bribes, created by Ensign and signed off by Zachary Lynch. But it'll be difficult to prove. Wait a second. Marcus Kunchai lied to us. He told us he was there picking up his last check when he found Mark Ensign's body. But according to this payroll file, Kunchai was fired a week ago. Okay, maybe Todd Stewart was telling us the truth. If Kunchai felt entitled to the cash in the secret safe as a kind of severance package or hush money, then maybe he wasn't going to take no for an answer.
We need a search warrant for Marcus Conchai's office.
What evidence do you have? Good work. You got your warrant.
Hello, Marcus. Told you we'd be back. With a search warrant.
Well, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time.
Mr. Kunchai,
I've got nothing to say to you.
ring snake, huh? That could definitely be used to strangle somebody. Does it have any kind of distinctive pattern? Nice find. Look familiar to you? This drain snake left the smaller ligature mark around Mark Enson's throat. The fiber on the drain snake matches the fiber we found in the safe, and they're both from a pair of industrial use gloves.
We need a arrest warrant for Marcus Cunchow.
Based on what evidence? Looks like we may have our killer.
You want to tell us what you were doing the night Marcus Insang died?
Look, I haven't been entirely straightforward with you guys. I was with Mark the night he died.
Recognize your work, Marcus?
I didn't do this.
When did you say you were fired?
I was fired yesterday. Okay, yes. Technically, I was let go last week.
Technically, you're a terrible liar, Marcus.
Hold on. Mark never wanted to fire me. Lynch told him he had to. You know, because of all the trouble with the Bureau of Sanitation. I mean, that was totally my bad, but Mark tried to defend me and keep me on the job.
Marcus, stop wasting our time here. I'm pretty sure I can figure out what really happened between you and Mark. Mark fires your ass. And maybe you come back to beg him to give you your job back, or maybe not. But you definitely come back for a little cut of that cash your boss's boss is keeping in that safe. Mark tells you to go to hell, but come hell or high water, you're going to get that money. Mark put up quite a fight, didn't he? You just weren't strong enough to squeeze the life out of him, so you had to push him over the balcony. Personally, I think you got lucky.
Are you crazy? That never happened. I mean, some of it did, but damn, you're twisting me all around in my head here. Please, just give me a second.
Did you fight about the money in the safe?
Yeah, we fought over the money, but I'd actually come back there just to ask for my job back. I mean, I'd even left all my tools and stuff all over the site because I figured Mark would still let me do some side stuff, you know, off the books.
But he said no to that too, right?
Yeah, he said no. He told me he was done with all the shenanigans of La Ventura and Silver Sierra. He was going to quit, start over. So I said, great, let's both take the money and run.
How'd you know about the money, Marcus?
It was the worst kept secret on the property. Guys used to call it the tip jar. I can't believe you guys were never able to bust Lynch and Company. The way they used to kick back and bribe.
Okay, let's stay focused on you right now, Marcus. You admit that you and Mark argued. Then it escalated.
No, it didn't escalate. Mark was right. The money in the safe was blood money. I told him I didn't care, but I was just being a little bitch. Then I decided to give up on the whole thing. It was stupid. I left, and Mark was alive when I did.
May we examine your work gloves?
You really think I killed Mark, don't you?
Most of the time, Marcus. We just try to let the evidence do our thinking for us.
We're gonna need a sample of your DNA.
All right. I get it.
We're going to hold you in custody at least until we process this evidence.
Okay, do what you need to do. I swear, I'm innocent.
Blood in Marcus's glove matches our victim. The epithelials inside the glove are Todd Stewart. That means Todd must have been the last person to wear Marcus's gloves.
What do you got in the way of evidence? Stewart's DNA was found in the glove that handled the murder weapon. I can work with that.
You know, I think I'm just about done talking to you guys. I tried to be as cooperative as I could, but I got a lawyer now, and I'm making bail and walking out of here in about 5 minutes.
No, in 5 minutes, you're going to be making another call to your lawyer.
What are you talking about?
You strangled Mark Ensign, didn't you?
I told you, when I left him, he was fighting with that plumber. Why aren't you out looking for him? I didn't do a damn thing to Mark.
We found a unique fiber on one of the weapons used in Mark Ensign's homicide. It matches the fibers woven into the plumbing foreman's gloves.
You know what epithelials are, Todd?
They're skin cells.
Check out the big brain on Todd. The skin cells we found inside the plumbing foreman's work gloves, those are yours.
You're wrong. I've never seen those gloves before in my life. You need to retest them, or whatever the hell you guys do with that kind of garbage in the lab.
Did you steal the money from the safe?
I didn't steal anything.
We recovered another stray fiber, this one from inside the safe, and it also matches the fibers in the work gloves.
So what?
Oh, give it up, Todd. It's over.
Did Mark catch you stealing the money, Todd?
Is that why you two fought?
Is that why you had to kill him?
This is a setup. I'm being framed. Maybe I used someone else's gloves when I was doing the gardening, but I swear, I didn't use those gloves to kill Mark Ensign. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. It is its natural manure.
Excuse me?
There was $25,000 of cash in that safe. Mark said it was blood money, and he was right. But he didn't understand that I could redeem it, that it could be used to further the cause. Mark just refused to hear me. I grabbed a drain snake out of a tool belt that was just lying around up there on the balcony, and I really thought I'd killed him. I don't know what got in my head to try to make it look like Mark had hanged himself. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but Mark woke up. And at that point, what else could I do? The truth is, a sacrifice was necessary for the greater good.
Well, you want to know another inconvenient truth, Todd?
What?
You're under arrest for murder of Mark Ensign.